Jose Abreu released from the Houston Astros. Breaking news coming live from the 281 at 1:15 p.m. on the 14th of June, 2024. Jose Abreu no longer part of the Houston Astros. Jeff Passan breaks the news. It was coming down the chute for a while. There it is, y'all. It's happening live. It's happening right now in front of all of us. Where were you? Where were you when this happened? We just actually finished wrapping up Beyond the Diamond. So this is literally fresh, literally breaking. It just didn't work. It just flat out didn't work. One of the biggest contracts Jim Crane has given out. It just did not work here. And so you turn a fresh page and you go to work. I don't know who's coming up. It happened, and this is not like a bash on a Jose Abreu segment, but this was a long time coming. It needed fresh start, fresh air.
Yep.
And wow, Jose Abreu is done.
Jose Abreu is no longer on the team. Do you think another team picks him up?
I think he'll probably clear waivers because no one wants to acquire that contract. So, yeah, at least it happened. It happened now and not later. It just thank you for everything you did. It didn't work out here. That happens in life. Here's $19.5 million. It's not a bad severance package.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, financially, he's fine. He had a great career. I don't know if he gets another chance, but I don't think he should be, too upset with his life right now. I will say it does make more sense now, this past road trip, why he was starting every single game.
It does, yeah.
I think that was either whether it was Joe's decision or it was Dana or somebody saying last chance.
Last chance.
Give him run, see if he improves in these last few days.
From Chandler Rome, Jose Abreu accumulated a negative 1.6 WAR across the lifespan of a 3-year, $58.5 million deal, which will go down as the worst contract in franchise history. At the end of the day, this is a business. At the end of the day, he's a very, very, very rich man. A job is now open at first base. John Singleton, what we saw in that short 2-week period, getting run every single day, was above serviceable. Obviously, they had Dubon over there. Joey Lopes is also doing time at first. I think now there's a clear decision for the front office. These guys go on a run. They probably kick the tires on what Guerrero looks like in the package, what Alonso looks like in the package, what maybe Bell looks like in the package.
Big Bell is a real possibility.
Yeah, so it's going to be and look, I think there was everyone in the comments, everyone watching, everyone tuning in right now, a ton of people tuning in. Wow. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. I think we all knew. I think we all knew this was coming. I think we all know it sucks on a human level.
Yeah.
But on a baseball level, this move had to be made. A clean break for everyone. And you know what? Baseball's funny. The Astros probably go on a run here, and Jose Abreu gets picked up by a team and probably hits 300 for that team. Because baseball just
honestly,
is funny that way.
I think he's off for a month. I think he works on things. And I wouldn't be surprised at the waiver deadline or whatever, or, some point before September 1st is the deadline to be able to play on the postseason. You have to be picked up by a team. I think some potential contender, wild card fringe team that needs a first baseman is going to take a flyer on him because they'll get him on a league minimum deal. They don't have to pick up his contract. So if you look at Jose Abreu as a fringe wild card team, you're like, I can get a former MVP that can show, especially last postseason and last run, he can be valuable at a league. If he was at a league minimum deal, the Astros aren't releasing him
Yeah.
It was always about the money.
And yes, the Jose Abreu contract didn't work out, and very few positive memories. We'll always have him running around the bases in Oakland, sliding. That was cool.
That 3-run bomb against Texas.
The 3-run bomb had 5 home runs against Minnesota in the ALDS, it felt like.
Yeah.
Had a good ALCS and ALDS, had a good October. But at the end of the day, for that much money, obviously the Astros still got to pay him. That's beyond the books. But I think the scope of it all is just the longer we waited, the margins were getting tighter. The losses are piling up. You just had to cut bait.
Yeah. And I just said it we just did a Beyond the Diamond live show every Friday.
Yeah.
11
tune in.
Every Friday we do a live Beyond the Diamond podcast. We just filmed it. And I just said, if the Astros release Jose Abreu before July 1st, this team turns it around. They did great when he was sent down. I think as a clubhouse, this is something where obviously they root for him and everything, but it's still just a cloud hanging over the team. And I think now they are set free a little bit.
I mean, at the end of the day, now you got to produce. Like the other guys, the offense. There was kind of the buffer of like everything was on Jose Abreu. Now there's not. So
yeah, it's not his fault anymore.
Yeah, everything's the spotlight's on everyone now. So it's just moving forward, and obviously the I don't think it wasn't like Jose Abreu was like a Johnny Manziel partying on the weekends, going to Vegas. He wasn't a bad teammate or anything like that.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think
on-field performance.
Obviously on field, but also I don't think like the comments from like Bags and everyone, like the party line of like the back of the base card, back of the baseball card, back of the baseball card, back of the baseball card. Like it almost sets him up. Like it's almost like setting him up. Like it felt like
it's constantly reminding like, hey, remember when this guy, he's an MVP. He can hit 900 OPS. He can have a 900. And then Jose, whole time in Abreu's head, he's probably thinking, why can't I have a 900 OPS? Why am I not at MVP level? When the Astros only needed him, really, they only need a first baseman to just be serviceable. The rest of the team is very good. Still, the rest of the positions, I would say 7 out of 9 are above average. So all you need is a first baseman that can just scoop a ball and hit for like a serviceable 700 OPS. If you get that, you start winning more games. Obviously, that doesn't help when a bullpen guy blows a game in the 8th inning or 9th inning, but it does give you a better opportunity to win.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, and Adam Spoley, someone in the comments brought it up, Dana Brown will be speaking at 3 p.m. to reporters about the release in Jose Abreu. Then followed up that tweet with Dana Brown shouldn't be the one answering questions about Jose Abreu today at 3.
It's only Dana?
The people answering the questions should be the people involved in the decision to sign in the first place. Dana Brown standing in front of the cameras today. I mean, obviously that's his job as a general manager, but
that's rough.
As a guy, that's crazy. I mean, wow. I
think we all know who should be in front of the camera there.
And look, they finally made the decision we've been all talking about for weeks.
I think we said over under June 14th earlier in the month.
Yeah.
What's today? The 14th?
Today's the 14th. If you could pull that clip.
I'll find that clip. I think we said over under June 14th.
And so now you have to go. Like, okay, there's the month of June you have to win. You got to find a way to get back to 500, and you just got to go. I think it was very telling today. Dana Brown was on 790 on Brian's show and Sean Salisbury's show. Espada was talking to Matt Thomas yesterday, and it almost seemed like they all had a timeline, and it all came to a head today, breaking at 12:45, 1 p.m. The news of Jose Abreu.
It was like
being
5 minutes before we went live.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw it, I started putting the camera back up.
So it's all fresh. We're here reacting with all you guys.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, everyone here, hit that like, subscribe button on YouTube and everything like that. That'd be great. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting. You still now have you're going to have a revolving door at first base till you figure out who's your guy. Obviously, like I said earlier, we saw Singleton there for those couple weeks and was playing pretty good baseball. Dubon's had some run. Joey Lopes obviously playing some outfield, playing some first. Do you make a move now at the deadline to try to get a guy with some years of control on the back end? Now that's your future first baseman. I don't know what the free agent class is next season. I also think your decision of, Vlad. I mean, there's Vlad, there's Alonso that have been floated, right? And they have, I think, Alonso's a free agent to be, so he'll be a rental. But Vladdy Jr. will be next year free agent, so it'll be a year and a half. So I think there's answers still to be, questions to have answers to, but also the other side is this shouldn't set you back mentally if I'm making decisions to put these contracts out. Like this contract did not work.
No.
So be it.
But it wasn't.
It doesn't mean the next two aren't going. You cannot be gun shy going forward. I think you have to be
a little bit smarter about
economically smarter about what you're going to do. So I think anyone. I think it obviously it sucks. It sucks seeing someone being DFA'd. It's part of the game. It's a bad part of the baseball. But now it's about moving forward.
Let me give you.
It's about trying to go on a run here and getting hot and finding ways to one, get back to 500 and two, make a run. I mean, the wild card's there. Obviously, the division, you have a lot more series. So it can be really interesting.
So here are the potential first baseman free agents next season.
Okay.
Including guys that have opt-outs or club options. Going in order of age. Cody Bellinger. Is
he an opt-out?
He has an opt-out. He probably won't use it, I don't think. Dominic Smith. Rowdy Tellez. Which I thought Rowdy Tellez was like 34. He's only 29. Pete Alonso, also 29. Joey Gallo. Ryan O'Hearn. Miguel Sano. Rhys Hoskins.
Okay.
Josh Bell.
Okay.
Wilmer Flores.
Okay.
Christian Walker.
Okay.
Garrett Cooper.
I like Walker.
We're already at age 33. So there are 4 free agent first basemen under the age of 30 next year.
Yeah. So I think a move in a
Paul Goldschmidt is a free agent. He's also 37.
That's pride of the Woodlands and pride of Texas State. It's gonna be Ligma free agent. That's a good one. That's good. 2 years ago, I would have ran into that one. Yeah.
Ligma?
Yeah, I would have ran into that comment. I think I just, it's a decision that had to be made. But two, for both sides and both parties, I'm glad it happened now. And you didn't just kept kicking the can down. It
needed to happen. Because if sending him down to specifically work on hitting and all that,
you tried everything.
All that came back with,
you exhausted all your options.
A 178 average or whatever he's had since he came back. There's not anything else you can do. Like you said, he might perform better maybe it's a change of scenery he needs. He needs like an extra.
Oh, he's gonna rake wherever he goes next.
Yeah, like
baseball.
He needs
baseball's
a month
baseball.
off. He needs to he needs. Maybe he'll go perform better. But I don't think that was ever going to happen on the Astros.
Yeah, and look, it happens. It happens. It's the first time it's happened here that we've had just a bad contract. If you go look at the other 29 teams, there's teams that are very worse spots, paying a lot of people a lot of money, and so at the end of the day. The Jose Abreu era ends. 1, 2, the focus doesn't shift to throwing a parade and celebration of a DFA. It's what can this team continue to do to build?
What's the next step?
Yeah, and now the question is, who's your first baseman? And we talked about Singleton. We talked about Dubon. We talked about Joey Lopes. Does Diaz get some run over there? There's still the question to be answered, but now it kind of gives Espada some flexibility with a full bench.
I think the biggest out of this is you have another bench guy now that can be versatile, whether it's Joey Lopes or you can have Ray Creshinger back, as a backup. There's different things different players you can potentially have on the bench that makes the team more versatile.
Yeah, and Father Time's undefeated. It's as simple as that. Father Time, when you're getting just blown away by mid-90s, it's tough. And so we saw it baseball spirals. Once you kind of get your mechanics off, once you get all this other the headspace off, it's tough to kind of right that ship back. And so it's about moving forward now, and that's kind of where you are. You can move forward. You have your lineup. You have your starting 9, and you just go and you move ahead. And you have some options now, flexibility if you're going to make a trade, you can keep it internal. But at the end of the day, I think you have more flexibility, like we said, with on the bench. 1, 2. If Joey Lopes is up, I mean, that guy's I don't know if he's a Gold Glove first baseman, but he's a damn good athlete. That can play
we were
first base.
We were just talking about
this on the podcast.
I think their concerns are with the fundamentals, because it's not as easy as everybody thinks it is to learn the fundamentals of first base and where to go here, what time. Like, there's so much little nuance there. But I think what he can make up with that is just being athletic. I think he can get to more foul balls than Jose Abreu could. I think he can range further in directions than Jose. I think he has a quicker reflex. I mean, there's a lot of things that come with. He's just a younger, more athletic player. But I don't see a Gold Glove going on there. Somebody did bring up, I think he's in that window of he just got sent down, so he can't be called back up currently.
That is true.
I'm not sure who they would call.
Isn't it like a 15-day window?
Yeah, I think it's 10. I think it's
10
or something like that. Yeah, so I think it's probably Greg Kessinger that we see for now.
Pop back up, yeah.
And then a decision gets made. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
For the next month, or at least until some move is made or something, what percentage of games do you see Singleton starting now? Do you think he's the everyday guy, or do you think he's platooning with DeBon?
I think Singleton is your everyday starting first baseman.
More than 80%.
Yeah, I mean, just because Dubon his versatility is being able to play every position, the super utility role. John is shown when he got that span over the 2 weeks of everyday playing time matters. So yeah, I think he is your guy right now, and I mean at least until probably the All-Star break, because of just time and how many games you have to the All-Star. I think we have like 25 games to the All-Star break. So yeah, I think it's obviously Doobie will give him a spell over there. It's going to be, I just think you have more ways to win with the flexibility of being able to plug and play guys at first base that in theory give you the matchups you want.
Yeah.
And that's all you want at the end of the day. You want to have the matchups and extend the win probability.
Like the other night, you're down to bottom of the ninth or top of the ninth, 2 outs, tying run in scoring position, Jose Abreu at the bat. And Joe Espada's excuse for not being able to pinch hit for him was having a shallow bench.
Yeah.
You don't have that excuse now.
Yeah.
This team should have enough versatile players that can play enough different positions that you should be able to move guys around to matchups to execute the game plan almost night in, night out, unless you're going like to 12 innings and you get hamstrung.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say right now the hierarchy is Singleton, Dubon, and then maybe Joey Lopes. Honestly, I'm surprised they haven't given Cabbage more run at first base, because he played first base, at least in the minors, a lot more than somebody like Joey Lopes and a lot more than Dubon. But they must not like how he looks there. Yeah,
and I've seen some comments about Dubon should be the everyday starter. I love Dubon in the super utility role where he can give guys days off. And his super utility guy. I think that's where it is. But it's going to be interesting. I think it's something that both sides probably wanted to happen, and it broke 25 minutes ago as we're recording right now. But it's a new day. It's a new day. I think obviously the fans have been frustrated. Jose Abreu's been frustrated. It's not a lack of effort, not a lack of trying. I mean, Chandler, Tags, everyone has been writing about the effort putting on the backside and him taking the being sent down to the option, which is very, very rare to do.
Yeah,
and
for a guy,
it just didn't work.
caliber,
and sometimes in life, it doesn't work. And I say it time and time again, whether it's your life, your personal life, your job, school, playing sports, it just doesn't work sometimes. And it's not all a Disney Channel movie. We're all hoping, he'd have an 800, 900 OPS, find that MVP for him. Doesn't work that way. And you know what? It's over. It's done with. And now it's just about moving forward. And so I think the positive side of decisions being made, baseball decisions being made, is you're increasing your probabilities to win, because it just felt at times the front office manager or even the lineup was just like hamstrung. Like it was just kind of one. Well, you had to fight with one arm tied behind your back, and now you don't have that, and now it's just about moving forward and trying to stack some wins and some series. Yeah,
Daniel asked, what's the point of releasing him just to save money or to clear a roster spot? Yeah, it's to clear a roster spot. You have a guy. I mean, you say what you want about WAR, the stat, not
big WAR guy.
Yeah, say what you want about WAR, the stat, like the difference between a guy who has like a 1 WAR and a 2.5 WAR, like whatever. When you have a guy that's clearly a negative to your team, every time he's up to bat, it's a net negative on the day for the most part. And that's was it. He's gonna cause more harm to your team than he's giving good outcomes. So you free up that roster spot with somebody you hope can add a positive, and at the net, you gain some wins. That's the idea. When it comes to the money, Jim Crane's a billionaire. I'm not worried about him having to eat.
What's $19.5 million to a billionaire?
Yeah,
I feel like that's a Jay-Z line.
And we talked about this just earlier. Was it today or it was a different day? And maybe he's watching. Maybe Jim Crane watches.
Maybe Uncle Jim had Beyond the Diamond live every Friday at 11 on his TV.
Yeah, maybe he does.
Maybe we were the reason why.
We might have been, because we were talking about we appealed to Jim's business acumen.
Attendance is down.
Attendance is down. You have a $19 million contract. You can chuck the $19 million for a chance to make the playoffs, where you can make way more than $19 million in player like kickbacks for bonuses, and player attendance and concession and merch. Like, how much money do they make, and how much money did they stand to lose by missing the playoffs? That's way more important than the $19 million salary, $19.5 million salary on Jose Abreu. Like, that's at some point you have to make that decision. Is this player making us, like, helping us win or make it to the playoffs or not? Not even from a like, I want my team to win, but from a financial standpoint, they need to make the playoffs to make a lot of money. And the crazy thing is, winning fixes everything. Winning changes everything. Jose Abreu had a great playoffs, a great October. No, I was happy with his overall year last year.
If you somehow you figured out a way to win at home and go to another World Series where you beat the Diamondbacks probably in 5, and win it, this conversation is nothing. The slow start, all of this is.
I do think there's
nothing.
There's less ire, but he gets released in July instead of
yeah. So it's just, baseball's a cruel, cruel, cruel world, and there's now a 40-man spot open. That's another big decision of who you want to put on the 40-man.
It's probably a reliever in my mind. It's probably another reliever that you can keep this cycle of sending guys down to get fresh arms.
Yeah, it's a 93 games to go. You're 8 back in the West, 6 in the wild card. You're facing the AL Cy Young potential winner this year. I just feel like this is the team now, and you got to go forward. And it's you play to win. Anytime I guess he was kind of in the lineup, it truly felt like you're playing down a man, just because it was time. So you just got to go now. Got to win.
Yeah, let's talk for a minute on potential roster spot. Who could take that? Somebody asked, does Melton get that spot? He does not. Melton is still in AA, right? Or did he make it AAA? Either way, he's hurt currently. So he's been dealing with a wrist issue. So I don't think that goes to him. That's an interesting comment from Jesse Garcia. I'm not going to read that out, but okay. Should we sign Belt for a year? Maybe. I don't know. I think you give Singleton his shot. I think he gets to start for the next 2 weeks, or you said to the All-Star break. I think if he can show that he can be serviceable and have like a 650, 700 OPS and not be making mistakes at first, then you run with that rather than trading or spending money on somebody you don't need to.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we'll wrap up here. Jose Abreu is DFA'd by the Houston Astros. A decision that seems like from the general manager and the skipper that they had a timeline. They had the plan of when sending him down, bringing him back up. It just didn't work out. And now it's about moving forward. You have a 3-game set against the Detroit Tigers starting tonight. And this is your team, and you got to move forward, and you got to go. So you have flexibility.
You've said if they can get to 1 or 2 games under 500 before the Baltimore series, this team can go on a run. Yeah. And I agree with that. I think this move kind of invigorates them. It's a tough first game to come out to against the potential AL Cy Young. But I think we hopefully have a lot of good times to look at for the rest of the year. We'll see.
Yeah.
And stay with us all the time. We have our Beyond Diamond podcast. We post twice a week, live on Fridays. Subscribe on YouTube, at Apollo HRU. Follow us on all the different places. We're streaming on like 5 different things right now.
Yeah, we are streaming on a lot of different things right now.
But yeah.
Yeah, everyone, thanks for tuning in on the quick emergency broadcast. Jose Abreu released by the Houston Astros. Like, subscribe, go over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and we'd appreciate that. So we have our podcast that just dropped. So if you want to stay tuned, it's on the page already. We went live. We actually talked about the possibilities of when this was happening. So it was kind of like foreshadowing. Yeah. And that was my SAT word of the day, foreshadowing. And Astros play tonight.
Cooper Hummel called up.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. Right when we were
about to sign out. I mean, yeah, when you brought up Joey, you sent him back down, like kind of screwed that one a little bit, but hey, here we go.
I'm trying to look for a confirmation on Cooper Hummel, but
source from Ari Alexander.
I was about to look at Ari.
Astros are selecting first base outfielder catcher Cooper Hummel to the major league roster.
Let me pull up the stats before we end this.
Thank you, RSJRDK on Twitter, for tagging me in that and letting me know.
Cooper has had a rough time of it at the bigs.
I think we all know it would have been Joey if Joey's timer wasn't sent back down.
He has a 932 OPS in 45 games this year for Sugarland. Not bad. Lefty, plays first base and catcher and left field. Interesting. Okay.
That's it.
All right. Well, thank you for watching. Hey, look, Brian Lima from 790s.
Wow,
dude.
Dude. Big dog Lima.
Dog watching. That's crazy.
All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. And stay tuned. More content coming out to you shortly.
Yep.
Peace. Love you guys.